Hello and welcome to the TCF Morning Show. It is Tuesday, December 1st, and this morning I am joined by Matt Schoolfield at schools_01 and Boomy at Boomy TCF. On Twitter, I am Zach Lilia at Z Lilia TCF. The main page is at typical_Chicago. This morning we will be talking about the Seahawks and Eagles Monday night football game. We got a little still COVID problems in the NFL. We got some rescheduling going on again today. We got college basketball talk. We're going to have a little Cubs off-season update. And then we'll have Boomys Wacky Web Story like we always do to end the show. Instagram, Facebook. Just type in Typical Chicago Fans. You'll find us on there. Go over to YouTube. Type in Typical Chicago Fans. You subscribe to the YouTube page, morning shows, podcasts, interviews, our food review. Food reviews are on there. We're going to have a new food review as soon as we get it in the mail. We are very excited about this upcoming food review. Then wherever you get your podcast from. If it's Apple, please subscribe, rate, and review Typical Chicago Fans. If it's anywhere else, just type in Typical Chicago Fans. You will find us on there. And shout out to 26shirts.com Chicago. Go over there. Use the promo code Typical Chicago Fans at checkout, and you will get 15% off of your purchase. Again, that is Typical Chicago Fans at checkout for 15% off of your purchase at 26shirts.com Chicago. Boys, how are we doing on this Tuesday morning?
We're plugging through, man. We've made it through the toughest day of the week, so it can't complain.
I'm on vacation this week, so every day is Friday right now until Sunday. Every day is Friday until Sunday, and then Sunday's gonna suck. But yeah, today was good.
Nothing's worse than coming back from that vacation. The Sunday scaries cannot be any worse.
Oh, it's intense then too. Especially because we have a really fun NFL team to watch, too, before.
Yeah. We have the Chicago Bears to start off our Sunday, a noon game against the Lions. But let's get into the subjects right away. We got the Seahawks and Eagles Monday Night Football game that's going on right now. Not the greatest game right now. It's 14-6. Eagles are losing. The Eagles...
The Eagles just got a field goal, 14-9.
14-9. Mine is frozen here. But it should be 10.
So it's a team from the NFC East, so what do you expect,
right?
It
should be 10, but they missed the PAT, so that was a tough look. But, yeah, this game, I don't know. The Seahawks have gone from a team that I thought were really good to a team that it has some question marks, especially on defense. But
their defense is really
with
bad.
Russell Wilson, they're always, I think, in a game because, man, is he good. DK Metcalf, amazing. Tyler Lockett always seems like he's out there going to make a catch at any time. So I think that the Seahawks, and with the Rams losing and a win here, will set them up pretty well in their division. But I'm just kind of confused still about the Seahawks.
I think the Seahawks, too, with Chris Carson healthy, it brings another element to their offense, too. It makes Lockett and Metcalf that much more dangerous. Carlos Hyde's a good running back. He's just, I think with Carson, he brings just a different aspect to that team. You did hit the nail on the head, though, with them. It's the defense. Their secondary is bad, man. They give a big play after big play after big play. It seems like every week except this week with Philadelphia's atrocious offense, they get in shootouts. It's a good one to have on your side when you have Russell Wilson going into shootouts frequently, but their defense is going to give them a problem at some point.
Yes. Boomy, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Philadelphia is just bad. I mean, the whole NFC East, we talked about it a billion
The Giants are in first place. Daniel Jones.
But if Seattle is, a team that's going to contend for that top spot in the NFC, you can't have these games where you're playing nail biters with garbage teams like Philadelphia. So they are hard to get a read on. They're not the defense they used to be, and the offense is kind of sporadic. I mean, obviously, I think they're still going to win the NFC West, but they've got to get, especially this late in the season, you got to get to a point where you're kind of clicking on all cylinders. And, they've, like you said, Zach, they've just been a little sporadic here as of late.
Yeah, but I think with a win here and, like I said, kind of a tough loss for the Rams against the 49ers, a division game, a tough game at the end there. If the Seahawks can win, it will put them in a good spot in a very tough division, which is the opposite of their opponent, who is in the worst division in football, which will be kind of interesting, I guess, to see. You always want to see who there'll be one team in the playoffs this year under 500, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah. And then, I saw a stat today on the Cardinals, and I think it was Pardon My Take, and they said that the Cardinals were – one Hail Mary away from having their fourth loss in a row. So, now's the time to pounce if you're the Seahawks. And, you can't let, especially on the road, you can't let a team stay in a game. And that's kind of what's happening as we speak.
But we'll go into the COVID in the NFL. We talked about it on yesterday's show, but with more today. The Ravens' Tuesday night game is now a Wednesday night game. There will be three.
It's like Wednesday afternoon, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, there will be three games on Monday now, next Monday, which is just going to be nuts. I mean, the schedules are going crazy. And it kind of goes back to the fact that it's insane that the Denver Broncos had to play that game when they're doing all of this for a team. But they didn't have a quarterback, and they still had to play.
Logic's been thrown out of the window by the league office.
And it doesn't seem like the NFL and the teams are really doing well at working together. I forget what team I saw. Was it the 49ers maybe that have kind of a problem in the area, and then they thought that.
Yeah, they're getting moved.
And
their next two home games will be played. They kind of
found out on Twitter about the whole thing. So,
I think it was San Jose County, which is where San Francisco is at.
Their coach is Kyle Shanahan, right? He was not happy about it. He was very upfront about how mad he was with the NFL and how the way it was handling. It does seem like the NFL is kind of dropping the ball here with all this COVID stuff and just kind of putting stuff on social media and not informing the players personally.
Yeah, the stuff with Denver, like you said, making them play that game while they've been jockeying everything else around. The fact that the NFL has not gotten to it, just added a week to the end of the year to make up these games. And give it a week 18 and give these guys sufficient breaks and let their bodies heal a little bit. This is insane.
It's crazy.
Come on,
crazy. Like I said, they'll be playing at, I think, 2 o'clock our time on Wednesday.
All they did was preach flexibility. They said all the players have to be flexible this year. When they shut down training camp and they paused all the activities like they probably should have. But they said everybody needs to be flexible. Well, the fucking league office needs to be flexible too.
Yeah.
And Roger Goodell is the forefront of this crap. Like, to put Denver into that position while you're letting the Steelers and all these other teams that are playing also playoff teams, and that's a big win for the Saints yesterday to not have to face a quarterback. You go on a road game in Mile High is never easy. It doesn't matter how good that team is. But anybody else trying to catch up to them in the NFC South, they were gifted a win.
Yeah, exactly.
But now it's
brutal.
They're doing what they gotta do, but it's gonna be crazy to see how the season ends and how many games all teams get in. And they're gonna try and get all the games in, but if they keep having
this, goes back to what we talked about in the beginning, though. Like, the NFL is just gonna put its head down and power.
Yeah, because the Ravens had 4 players get out of COVID protocols, and then 4 players go into COVID protocols today. So they kind of stayed the same there today. But we'll see. Hopefully, we'll have 3 Monday Night Football games. That'd be pretty awesome. And then we'll have an afternoon game on Wednesday that'll pop up out of nowhere, and it'll be fun to watch. I'll take football whenever we can get it, especially a Steelers Ravens game at 2 o'clock on a Wednesday.
2:45.
insane. You would never thought that would ever happen.
When you're on when you happen to be on vacation that week too, and it just
coincides. See, this is like, you know those Buffalo Wild Wings commercials where like you can call in the plays. This is Matt pressing the button and he called in the play there.
Yeah, Matt sent a couple of emails to the commissioner and was like, "Hey, I'm off."
The kid will be
coincides perfectly with
the kid will be napping.
It's beautiful.
Oh man, I can hear Maddie getting on the phone with Commissioner Goodell.
A couple afternoon cocktails, maybe. You know, who knows?
Listen up.
It's vacation.
That's right. I can't go like to a tropical place or something, so I might as well bring the tropics to my house. You know?
Yeah. So you gotta. You always see on like the TV shows, you gotta put the beach chair out, maybe in the living room, and watch some afternoon football. But let's move on. We got college basketball. We had a crazy weekend in college basketball. We still got college basketball all day yesterday, all day. I don't know if it's all day today, but we got some good games. Boys, give me some updates on some college basketball.
Well, we talked about it. I don't know a couple big upsets. Kentucky falls to Richmond. Virginia had lost to San Francisco. There's a couple other ones of ranked teams, but we talked about this a lot at length. With the weird scheduling, I saw one. I think Illinois State was adding Greenville on a game for Wednesday that they just announced today. So you're seeing a lot of those really, get stacked up real quick and games getting added real quick. But
they've got to create like a schedule portal. You know how they do the transfer portal for the players, like where coaches can just go and like at SIDs and the ADs and stuff can just collaborate and get, hey, I got an opening this day. Who can play? Who and where? Like get them in like just basically a virtual chat room that they can settle these things. And that would be wild to get it to be a witness on too and see like the comings and goings on building these schedules right now. It'd be crazy.
That would be cool. And like you said, it's one of those things. Some teams aren't even figuring out who they're going to play until the night before. And if a team's in the area and you want to play them, then they'll play them. Like if you can somehow schedule a game for a certain day and you're in the same stadium playing like a tournament or whatever, might as well try and get an extra game in. Like it's just kind of it's cool
if
for
you're
fans.
like, hey, we're playing at Western Illinois on Monday. Does anybody else in the state of Illinois have Wednesday open that they want to get a game in
or Missouri State? Hey, Missouri State, are you guys not 3 hours away from there? Let's figure something out.
Exactly. Jump on. Get something in quick. Matt, your Tar Heels gave themselves a little bit of a scare today, not scoring in the first 10 minutes of the game, but come back to beat UNLV.
Spot your opponent 13 and win by 27. It's
UNLV is bad.
UNLV is really bad. That was what was really frustrating at the start of that game. Yeah. Not really happy when that thing kind of tipped off. RJ Davis, freshman guard, hit 4 or 5 from the arc though, so he had a big game. And Carolina is really, really big. One of the rare teams in the last few years now that's got 4 legit playable post players. So between Garrison Brooks and then Kessler, the freshman, and then Sharp, the freshman, and then you got Armando Baycott from last year's blue chipper coming into his own as a sophomore now. They're not missing rebounds. When that team in Roy Williams' offensive system of the outlet pass, get it and go, secondary break. When you got bigs that can pass the ball, a little bit athletic, and rebound the hell out of it, makes it easier on your freshman backcourt. So it could be a really fun team to watch. I think they're going to benefit by not dealing with crowds this year, being as young as they are. I think that's going to be big, especially freshman point guards. Get pressure situations in some of these places, man, and it's going into Cameron Indoor as a freshman, and you got to preserve a 2-point lead, or you're down 2 with 30-some seconds left. That you make the heart beat a little bit.
Absolutely. Some other a team to keep your eye out on this year. Eastern Kentucky took Xavier to the wire. I think Xavier is one of the better teams I've watched this year, and they lost 99-96 in overtime. So that's one team to keep your eye on. The biggest thing that we're seeing
Eastern Kentucky always has shooters. They always have shooters.
And they play in a winnable conference, and they always seem to knock somebody down a peg.
they get those scrappy ass kids that all they do is shoot from the coal mines in like Eastern Kentucky, West Virginia, and all they do is shoot buckets, dude.
Those are like diet West Virginia.
Basically, Eastern Kentucky it's a strange place.
Yeah, very much so. Very much. And a couple other. There's obviously been a bunch of upsets. I talked about Queens University in Charlotte when they had got thrown into a tournament real late. They're a D2 school, and they almost beat George Mason, and then they knock off Howard, I think it was. But there was another D2 over D1 upset today. I had it right here. Emmanuel beat Stetson. So these are the kinds of things that, like, we're seeing these games thrown together, within 48 hours, 72 hours. It's like that gives those, big-time underdog schools, a lot of a big upper hand because they're not going to get scouted, the way they normally would if you have, a week to prepare for a D2. And Auburn, that's the last one I wanted to talk about. Auburn was, they just went to a Final Four, 3 years ago? They're now 1-2, and they got beat by a very average UCF.
Yeah, but the hero Bruce Pearl said, at the beginning of the year, we're not going to play in the tournament this year out of, we're going to, punish ourselves.
He is such a scumbag.
You weren't going, buddy. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I did see,
but save me the hero act.
I did see a thing with college basketball that it's just one of those things you wouldn't actually expect that a team last year would ever think about playing a team that they really couldn't watch footage on or get game tape on or know what's going on. But now you'll play any team without knowing anything because you're just trying to get games in throughout the season. So it's kind of exciting for fans to watch, and I think it'll make games a lot closer. Like even Ohio, Illinois. We'll take that game for example.
Yeah.
Illinois almost lost that game because it's one of those things you play 3 straight days. You try and get all these games in. You're going to see some of these really good teams struggle with Ohio is going to be a good team, I think, throughout the season. But I think you're going to see a lot of fun games, I think, going forward, and it's going to be exciting to watch.
And speaking of good games, today is a great day for it. We start off with Texas, Indiana, BYU, and USC, before even 2 o'clock. And then obviously at night we have the 2, I think it's like the Coaches Classic games. We've got Michigan State and Duke, and then we have Kentucky, Kansas tonight. So 4 of the top, 13 ranked teams in the country. Yeah, Michigan State's 13. So big night tonight in college hoops. Since the NFL got canceled, watch the.
Don't forget too the tournament that Carolina's playing in is the Maui Invitational being played in Asheville, North Carolina this year.
Yeah.
So.
When I think Maui, Hawaii, I think
being called by
North Carolina.
Bill Walton.
And absolutely high as a kite, Bill Walton.
Oh my gosh,
He's not taking any morning off.
Probably going to die soon.
What's that?
Do you hear Dick Vitale on that one? He was on a call over the weekend, and he said something about he knows his days are numbered, and he was like talking about the nostalgia of college basketball. Yeah, dude, look it up. It's super weird. He's like, I know my days are coming to a close here. We're just like, Dick, this is not the time, man.
What in hell?
We need it. Yeah, if we don't have an NCAA basketball tournament, we may lose Dick Vitale.
It's the Tommy Lasorda effect.
Seriously.
But let's move.
Able to watch games from his house, so I'm worried.
Let's move on. We got a little Cubs off-season update. Boomy said that the Cubs picked up the tender on KB. Probably not going to an Almora.
That's what it's looking like. The date to tender players, I believe, ends at the end of this week. Yeah, it stinks. You draft a guy really high. He's shown potential in the outfield. He's obviously never got the hitting down. So it looks like Almora is probably going to be let go, but KB probably not going anywhere as of this coming season.
Yeah, we got it's going to be a confusing
and you got to
offseason.
feel like we've been hearing, how many trade offers for Chris Bryant. Obviously, they haven't got, one that – and that's what I was worried about. I was afraid the Cubs were going to sell too low, especially with – I don't remember who I was listening to talk about it, but the market, and they don't know what this – you're not able to have fans in. How much money does each team have to spend and all these different variables. it's one of those things where you don't want to get involved in a situation where you're selling a guy too low. And obviously KB's had his downfalls the last couple of years, but you don't want to get rid of him for, a couple second tier prospects when the guy's clearly an MVP type player. I'm glad
I think the contract will be played out. I don't think he'll be traded at this point. I don't think you're going to get enough for him. You're not going to get what you want.
You got to kind of let the market rebound a little bit.
Or let him rebound.
Crazy,
Hopefully he has a rebound season.
No,
see, that's my thing. That's my thing as much as anything right now is you're not going to be able to trade him because you're not going to get back what we want. I think that's starting to be pretty well established. That they're not going to get back what the Cubs feel that he's worth.
He won't get what he's worth. What he thinks he's worth.
You know who needs a good season from Chris Bryant more than anybody? It's Chris fucking Bryant going into free agency. So if the Cubs are going to benefit from that, having a monster season going into free agency, then albeit we'll take the first round comp pick after he walks as a free agent. And thank you for your time, dude, because he's a stud. Absolute stud.
I know, it's something crazy maybe to say, but two players, Javi Baez, Chris Bryant, had the worst years of their career probably. And it's no way that it can get they got to have bounce back years.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
You got to think that everything always rebounds to the median, and KB's year last year, Javi's year last year are off of their median, what they've done their whole career, their average.
And it was a third of their total, third of what's available to produce too. So there is obviously the chance that their numbers could be a little bit skewed because they fell into the bad third of the year too.
100%.
But we'll have to see what the Cubs do throughout the offseason. Already losing Theo Epstein, but getting Jed Hoyer in his position, which I think is going to be a good change. I wish we could keep Theo, but we knew that wasn't going to be forever. And I think Jed can be the guy going forward for a while now. So I'm excited to see what happens with that. But let's wrap up the show here. We got Boomys Wacky Web Story. What you got, Boomy?
All right, boys, I'm starting to get more and more concerned after my wacky web story last night about this, 11-foot monolith that appeared in Utah, disappeared. They don't know who put it there. They don't know how they got it out. But, guys, it gets even worse. They found a similar, almost looks exactly the same, 11-foot tall monolith in just today, 24 hours in Romania, which is 6,000 miles away from Utah. So this thing disappears Sunday morning. Monday morning, a very similar structure shows up 6,000 miles away. These aliens are 100% toying with us. Something is about to go insane here. I don't know what it is. I'm not putting the tinfoil on my head yet, but guys, there's something going on here. That's 6,000 miles. You can't just jump in a helicopter and take it, halfway across the globe in 12 hours. It's just not possible.
No.
You know what? 2020, why not? Well, let's add an intergalactic war to it. Fuck it.
What is happening?
Let's wrap up 2020 with an intergalactic war. And
it's either the aliens or the Illuminati is messing with us.
Well, yeah, they're doing a good job of it.
Just hobnobbing her over continent to continent and planting it in the ground and peacing out.
That is.
Yeah, or somebody's just playing an amazing, elaborate prank.
If they're doing that, then they're doing a very good job of it, though.
Yeah, I don't really have any answers. We should probably cut the Illuminati part. We don't need, them coming after us. But
Boomy, at Boomy TCF.
My name is Zach Lilia at Z Lilia TCF.
But
yeah, dude, I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss here. I don't know what. I really hope this is just like an elaborate setup for a movie that's going to come out in July of 21. But I don't know.
It's like all of the balloons with it. That happened.
That's what I'm hoping for. Man, am I hoping for that?
Yeah, that'd be so scary.
I don't like where this is going.
That would be very scary.
I just want one to show up around here and see just panic ensue because it'll be.
It'll
be an absolute
crapping out of their ears. They won't know what to do.
It would be bad. But anything post show, boys?
I had something, but I got to start writing them down.
Yeah. How about Matt Nagy's post our Monday press conference?
Was he blaming the defense?
Yeah. What an idiot.
I'm over it. I don't like that. That's That's not what I want of my coach. Is a blame game. It's just
Well, it's never him. It's never him.
so not a good look. Not a good look.
On the positive side, for my Packers, remember there was like the whole discussion at the trade deadline that the Packers were going to trade for Will Fuller. Well, like 2 weeks after the trade deadline, Will Fuller just got suspended for 6 games for substance or some sort of banned substance.
Good for you guys.
So,
if you want to follow Matt Schoolfield at schools_01 on Twitter, Boomy at BoomyTCF. I'm Zachary at ZLilia TCF. The main page is at typical_Chicago. Instagram, Facebook, Typical Chicago Fans. Follow us on there. Go over to YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube page. Morning shows, podcasts, interviews, food reviews, all that is on there. Wherever you get your podcast from. If it's Apple, please subscribe, rate, and review Typical Chicago Fans. If it's anywhere else, just type in Typical Chicago Fans. You will find us on there. And then shout out to 26shirts.com Chicago. Use the promo code Typical Chicago Fans at checkout for 15% off of your purchase. Again, that is Typical Chicago Fans at checkout for 15% off of your purchase at 26shirts.com Chicago. Anything else, boys?
Hey, quick shout out. Was it? I can't remember the kid's name. The kicker for the Indianapolis Colts revealed that he has cancer. So thinking, that's got to be tough right now. Obviously, we talk a lot about sports, but sometimes we miss the real stories going on. So best of luck for him.
Yep.
Rigoberto Sanchez. Is that who it is?
I believe so.
Anything, Maddie?
Hoping for the best.
No. Just hope Ryan Pace gets fired tomorrow. That's all.
That would really make Matt's vacation.
Oh yeah.
You think Matt's enjoying himself right now?
I need Ted Phillips gone. I need Ryan Pace gone. I need Matt Nagy gone. I need any player that's worth any value in a trade for draft picks and or compensation of other types, varieties, and the ilk. Gone. Bye-bye. See you later, all of them. Because right now they're not an organization that's set up to win. And it's just you just got to tear it down.
Yep. This has been the TCF Morning Show, Tuesday, December 1st. We love you all.
Peace.